Welcome back. My name is Manny Rodrigues, and I'm so excited that you've chosen to come on this journey with us and hear from some of our college and fund recipients. We are so excited to shine a light on their story. And so, why are we here? Well, we're here because since 2019, here at Broad River Retail, we set up a Founders Scholarship Fund in the honor of our two founders, Jonathan Ishee and Jackson Moore. What I know about Jonathan and Jackson is that they care deeply about this organization, and they loved knowing today that this money is going to help not only memory makers, but children of memory makers, and even memory makers who are continuing in education. And so we know that it's expensive, and so every little bit that we can help with, we take great pride in. You're gonna hear about some really cool stories from current winners, from some previous recipients, hearing about where they're at, where their scholarship has taken them and opened up some doors for them. So sit back, enjoy, buckle up. We're so proud of all of these recipients. Over 40 recipients since 2019 to have taken advantage of this Founders Scholarship Fund. And so I wanna say thank you to Jackson and to Jonathan. I wanna say thank you to all of our memory makers, to our MMX team, to Ariel, to Emmeline, that helped put this together. I hope that you enjoy listening to these stories. That's what this whole podcast is about. Stories from the river. Here at Broad River, bringing you live content about programs that we have and that we support. So enjoy, have a great summer.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
My name is Lindsay Shelby. I joined Broad River Retail in 2023.
My name is Emily Boyle, and I joined Broad River in 2021.
I am enrolled in Mercer University, which is in Atlanta, Georgia.
I am working on my master's degree in professional writing at Liberty University online.
I am enrolled in the Human Resources with a focus on talent development bachelor's degree.
It entails a lot of business writing, really a variety of things, mostly nonfiction, but it's a lot of training in all areas of writing. Well, that was a tough decision. I actually started a couple of different programs at a couple of different schools, and it just wasn't the right fit.
I initially wasn't looking at Mercer. I wasn't looking at any large school because I've always been intimidated by large schools, and I think that sense of self-worth comes into play too.
After trying a couple of things, I started researching Liberty University, and I really liked their faith-based programs.
I did a little bit more digging online. Mercer is very well known in the Atlanta area, specifically for medical science related. But when I found they had a working adults program specific for human resources and then a specialty in talent development, I was instantly sold.
So I enrolled. I really liked the program that they offered from what I learned about it. And so when I enrolled, I started connecting with my classmates, and I found that we're like-minded and have pretty similar values.
So when I saw that I could get kind of two passions with one degree, I got really excited and went all in.
Find what you're passionate about and what comes easy to you, and do that forever.
Surprisingly, I have half of a bachelor's degree. I didn't get to finish that because of family circumstances.
First, I want to set a good example for my kids. I want to encourage them to go after their dreams, whatever that is, whether that be college or, an advanced degree or a career that they're passionate about.
When I started working at Broad River, Jocelyn Jones told me about the Founders Scholarship Fund and really encouraged me to go back and finish my education.
I love having a creative outlet, and that being such a passion of mine for so long, it was just something I've always known that I was going to do at one point or another. When I first got the news, I was completely blown away.
Disbelief would be the first word that comes to mind.
It's actually kind of a funny story. I was working in the Columbia, Ashley location, and we were in the middle of this huge renovation that's been happening this year, and I get the phone call and there's literally banging and hammering on the other side of the wall, and I'm going, I'm sorry, what? What?
I didn't think I'd ever have the opportunity to go back to school, let alone have help by my employer.
And was shocked, was in complete shock, and when that wore off, I was just grateful and honored.
Lots of happy tears and an overwhelming sense of gratitude to be able to have this come to fruition for me.
Really, discipline, I think, is a lot of it. Online programs are not for everybody, and it requires a lot of discipline. And it took me going through that program, which I did online, and I found that worked for me. So I think that was a big part of that. I had to find my niche. I had to sort of find a routine, a rhythm that worked for me to stay on top of my studies.
There's a couple aspects of HR I don't know a whole lot about. The industry is constantly changing with federal regulations and just changes in the way that things are done. So one, trying to get up to current state of where we are in the space today. A lot I know around technology, but the other parts like performance management, I think there are some things that we can do differently here at Broad River that I hope to learn through this degree. Also understanding HR processes from a foundational level and not just bits and pieces I've picked up along the way, I think will be really, really critical as I take the next step in my HRIS journey and understanding how we can take our technology and really make it work for us, and choosing the right technology platforms that allow us to make it work for us and not keep us stuck in some limitations that ultimately inhibit our day-to-day. Just do it.
Find a way to tell your story, be authentic, and make sure you follow all of the instructions.
I spent a year at Broad River thinking I wasn't the right person to apply for the Founders Scholarship Fund, and I missed out on a potential year of education.
Just knowing that there are other really generous programs out there like this one. So I say just do your research and apply.
It's never too late. Don't second guess yourself. Lean into the support around you. And even if you don't have that support, if you feel that drive within yourself, don't think about it too much and just go for it. I think spending the last year in my current role helped build a lot of confidence, helped me really define that I'm using my skills for the right thing. I think through building that confidence, I found that I am worthy of going back to school. I am worthy of furthering my education and really becoming the person that I say I want to be.
Being a pioneer in my field, I think, is about more than just mastering grammar or style. It's about being willing to explore uncharted territory.
Human resources has been around for a long time. I think it's ambiguous in a lot of ways to a lot of people as to who we are and what human resources is.
Some examples of that might be how we build trust through writing in a world that's constantly flooded with content, or how we write for different audiences that are increasingly global or diverse.
Being more people-centric, I think, is something that HR hasn't typically had a good reputation for, but it's something that I do believe we're moving toward in the future, and something I want to work on here and in my future career spaces as I continue to grow in the role.
When I think about pioneering, I think about using my writing as not just a way to inform, but to innovate, to start conversations, to challenge norms, and to create messages that don't just fit the mold, but redefine it. I
think oftentimes, and in the sense of an HRIS system, or Human Resources Information System, if you don't know what HRIS is we have these software engineers that script and code things, and they're like, here you go do it. There's this disconnect between us creating these processes and the human resources space and our people actually executing and using those processes. And a lot of times that creates a lot of miscommunication, confusion, frustration, and just an overall not a great employee experience. And so my passion and a big reason why I want to go and get this degree is to bridge the gap between the way we create our processes and how they actually impact our people. Lots of river time, pool time, lake time, no big vacations.
So over the summer, I want to spend some time with my family outdoors. I want to explore some state parks in my area, do some hiking, some camping.
Kind of relaxing before I really pick up this next phase of my life in school and continuing my career. The Igniter was the ATD conference in 2023. I'd never been to a conference before. I was deep in the learning and development space and leading leadership development programs. So being able to have the opportunity to sit and observe and speak with other leaders in my field and how they were changing the game, how they were moving the needle, what they were doing differently, really showed me what was possible, not just in learning and development, but any space that we get into. Going back to that word pioneer, it's so perfect how all this is aligned, because not just Broad River, I think all of us are in a pioneering stage. We're in a new era. We're trying to figure out how do we take what was and turn it into what is. So ATD really did that for me. My people analytics course that I took with the help of Broad River when I first started really helped me develop. I had some data skills, but showed me how to leverage those when it came to people data. Because it's still an ambiguous space, there's not a whole lot of people that know how to bring the two together. And it is one that deeply interests me. So ATD, my analytics course, and most important experience-wise, I think just being in this HRIS analyst role. I'm lucky that Broad River gave me a chance to sit in this seat, because I don't have a ton of experience there. And I've really been able to grow and blossom and continue to understand where we can change, where we can take what was and turn it into what is. Take a deep breath. Try and not look at everything as a whole.
Get that procrastination in check. You really got to stay on it, especially with the graduate degree program, any program like this.
I think oftentimes, or at least speaking for myself, we see this big project that we have to race to the finish line and we have to complete it and we have to finish it, and then don't really get as much out of it as maybe we should have. So taking the time to just slow down, not overthink everything, and baby step it. Rome wasn't built in a day. College programs are long, they're tedious, times get hard.
It's best to just stay on it and keep your nose to the grind, really. I know it's cliche, but that's really how you get it done.
What do we do when times get hard? Slow down, recalibrate, and just figure out a new path forward. So I think that's where I've struggled the most in the past, and I would say that's the best advice I can give to myself as I embark on the next journey. Thank you for the patience of my team, patience of my bosses, both here and not here today, for giving me this opportunity and allowing me to grow with it.
I just want to say that I am utterly grateful and honored to have been chosen as a recipient of the scholarship this year. It's going to be a huge boost to my educational journey. Looking at the past year, I feel like we've built something strong together that is a foundation that we can grow from. And I wouldn't have been able to do that with the people team and our leadership team. So I'm really grateful.